Hey, good morning, YouTube. Joshua Vandale here, day 8, 30-day personal self-improvement challenge. I hope everyone had a good weekend. Today, I am quitting YouTube. YouTube has been, since I quit Facebook, or since I quit Netflix, it's been my, well, I have both of them. It's been a replacement for that, and now it's got to go. I just want to talk about YouTube quickly for a second and say that, TV is dying. YouTube is the new platform for sharing media. I do think that it's a good thing. I'm not really into the advertising stuff that they're doing now, but I had this fantasy, like when you see a rock star playing on stage, it's the stage and this one personality and all of these people in the audience who are also angelic, but they don't really know it, and all that energy is focused up to the stage, and there's this harvesting of energy and this pedestalization, this fetish of celebrity happening. And what I thought could happen on YouTube, which would be really interesting, is if you're a knife maker, or you braid hair, or you do this, or whatever it is that you specifically do, I thought if every single person on the planet had a YouTube channel, and nobody wasted time watching TV, and no one wasted time watching hours and hours and hours of one person, then every single person could be famous in the standards to their standards. So they might not have millions and millions of views, but when I think about how much YouTube I watch, if I chose to specifically watch, like if friends and family had YouTube videos, and they were posting regular things about what was going on in their lives, I'd watch that. And I bet if they had a particular interest or a focus that internationally, if people could become aware of what they were doing, then they would have a following. I imagine that every single person on the planet could have a following of 10, 20,000 people watching their videos, and everyone would be focused on promoting what they're about and watching what they really actually want to watch. So that was just a thought for YouTube, and I think I want to be involved in YouTube in the future. It's not something I'm giving up permanently, but it's the consumption of YouTube has got to change, and I want to start putting stuff out there on YouTube. And so that's not something I'm going to deal with right now, but right now I'm quitting YouTube, watching it. That reactionary, instant dopamine fix, again, and that instant gratification. So what I'm going to do instead is to try and get my mind away from screen time and stuff like that, is I'm going to start doing some writing. I've already got letters to write, but I'm going to start journaling, and I think I've lived a lot, I've done a lot for my age, but I haven't digested my life. And when I hang out with a friend I haven't seen in a while, they'll tell me a story and I'll go, oh yeah, and I totally didn't remember it until they brought it up. So I want to reconnect to my life and be able to pull my life up anecdotally when there's an opportunity to, when it benefits the conversation. So I want to start journaling and writing down the events of my life chronologically, because I think that they're interesting to me, if no one else, and they might be interested in future generations in my family might want to know how someone one of their ancestors was living. So journaling is going to replace YouTube for me. I'm going to put it in my regular schedule, so it might be something that I do just before I go to sleep. Start watching it, before I go to sleep I'm going to start journaling. Actually, this is a product idea that I have is an app similar to Facebook, except no one can see what your page is, but everyone can post to your page, and their post will go into a category. Imagine an app where you log in, and it's just a chronology of your life, and you can tab it through different tabs. So maybe you could go through school years, or maybe you could go through partners and exes, or maybe you could go through places that you lived, or maybe you could go to like festivals that you did, or your job history. So it's like a timeline that you can see, and all those things overlap, and you can add or take away which ones you want to see. So you could see the moment of the movement through your life. So that's an app that I want to get into development. It's something that I would love to have for myself, and I haven't quite seen an app like that. There's similar ones, but nothing quite like that yet. So that's maybe a project for the future, near future. I think it's worth doing. And one more thing about YouTube, because YouTube is the kind of go-to for if you want to learn something. I had to shear sheep on a farm once, and I went on YouTube and I learned how to do it. And so it's an amazing teaching skill. You know, it's funny how on the one hand people are like, oh, where'd you learn that? The internet? And it's like, yeah, I did learn it on the internet. I didn't go into debt learning something that was like, I don't know, I don't think the school system is bringing a really solid curriculum to people. It's just liability and insurance, and what can we teach them to make them do the job proficient enough that they can't get sued. It's losing its spirit. So it's on YouTube. So what I would recommend for people, and what I'm going to try and do in the future, is don't just take in useless information. There's so much out there. Oh, what's Trump doing now, or what's North Korea doing, or what's this, that, and the other thing. And like all these things can kind of affect your life, but we generally are not in control of what we choose to see. We kind of just go along with what's on our Facebook feed, what's on the news, what's popping up, what are we interested in, but not necessarily what serves us. So for me, what I'm going to do is start getting back down to my basic life and start researching out from there. And eventually you will get to things that are as big as politicians, but by the time you get to researching a politician, you'll have a very concrete step-by-step reasoning for why and how that person is actually affecting you. Instead of just he's made a decision for the whole country and blah, 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 blah. You actually specifically know, all right, in my municipality, there's this plan and this person or this corporation doing this thing, and it affects this water stream, which affects my well, and it comes back to you. And it might seem self-centered, but if everyone started from that place of really being grounded, it's like Jordan Peterson. I don't know if anyone follows him, but he argues that, you know, you shouldn't be a protester if you're in college. You shouldn't be protesting and being an activist if you can't keep your room clean. That it's not about priorities. Yes, saving the world seems important, but if you can't keep your room clean in order, if you can't keep your life in order, if you can't have a discussion without swearing, then you're too polluted in yourself to be able to do the work that you feel called to. So that's kind of why I'm not just jumping on, in my 30-day challenge, why I'm jumping on a whole bunch of really big out there projects. Right now I'm trying to clean myself up, get myself grounded so that I know what I'm working with. So that I'm cutting out YouTube right now. I might join it later, but I'm cutting it out right now. So that's day 8. And I just want to reflect a little bit on how it's been going for me up to now. I've noticed that I have a lot more energy, feel really clean, really focused, and really grounded, and like I have something to bring other people. And what's really interesting, I don't know if this is the universe or if this is karma or what this is, but now that I'm actually getting more stable, I'm having people kind of come and rely on me in ways that they haven't in the past. And it seems that when you like I go to native gatherings and it's a real safe space, and what happens generally is people start to break down and start crying and stuff comes up. Because every day we're carrying stuff every day and we're just trying to get to the next destination without letting it out, letting anyone see stuff. You know, it's where you get in relationships. Why is that person being so fake or weird? It's because they have pain. We all carry pain, and that's the other thing that I'm learning by doing this, by sharing this. People are starting to share their stories with me about what they're going through, and holy crap, we are a traumatized nation. We're a traumatized generation. It's generational trauma coming down, and it's all the same, and we're all isolated thinking ours is unique or special, or that we're messed up in a different way than anyone else, so we can't share that. So that's a really interesting thing to see, that as I'm coming up and getting stronger, people are coming to depend on me for help and counseling, which I don't really want to be in that role exactly, but that's that whole thing, you know. People aren't afraid of their darkness, they're actually afraid of their light. They don't want to make someone uncomfortable by being all they can be, but when you are the true manifest of your personality, of what you are here to do, you give other people permission just by your presence to do the same thing. So, and yeah, there was as I'm getting out of this dopamine fix, I like my traumas are coming up, and thankfully I'm fairly clear level headed enough to see them, and a large body of my pain has been around relationships and dating. And actually this weekend I ran into an ex that hasn't talked to me for 2 years, and I've actually dreamed about them and meeting them just to get that closure. And the dream was way better than the reality, but in reality I saw this person and they had no shits, no fucks to give. And that was actually all I needed. That was all I needed. In the past, I was like, "What's wrong? What did I do?" And I couldn't quite get over it for a long time. And now, after this weekend, I was just like, if anyone has, I can be the person you want to hate if that's what you want to be. And I don't want to go on about relationship stuff right now because that will be coming up later on in my 30-day challenge. But yeah, I think that we use other people as an addiction thing too. We want to feel good. Other people can make us feel good, and the danger in treating other people like an addiction is, you know, when you self-harm with a drug or something like that, you're mostly just self-harming yourself and anyone else who's witnessing you. But when you self-harm with another person, you can be setting that person back quite a bit. And we need to stop looking at other people as resources or commodities to help us with our own emotional addictions, and start really looking at every other person's divine being that's going through something, and trying to be really empathetic to yourself and to that other person. I went to a tantra event the other day, and we picked random partners, and you know, took turns blindfolding each other and doing things like feeding them chocolates and using a feather on their body and stuff like that. And it was extremely sensual. It was not sexual. And when we were done, what everyone had to share was like, holy crap, let's get some more of that into life. This, I don't know if it came after high school. I don't know what everyone else feels about this, how the dating game works for you, but I think we are over-sexualized, hyper-sexualized, and repressed, and we just stick it in, and that is like the end-all be-all. And there are so many other ways to excite your whole body and wake your pleasure centers up and feel good and feel connected without going to sex. And that sounds super dorky, but I mean, maybe do that and then go to sex, but just try that. Just try being sensual and intimate, sitting there cross-legged, looking at your partner, or, you know, just really being present with somebody. And you know, doing lots of nice little touch things without going anywhere. It can feel amazing and give you that energy that you need to work up your chakra system. Now I'm getting kind of way out there, and I want to keep this a short video because I got to go to work. I haven't quit yet. I'm going to do that today. That's my goal. I'm going to stop procrastinating. Because I quit procrastinating, there's two things that's going to happen. I got a little bump on my leg that I've got this black salve. It's illegal to have, but it's you put it on like a skin mole or something like that, and it'll turn it into I forget what it's called, but it basically pops off and you got an open wound and it heals up. And I've had this like mole thing on my leg, and it grows. It's actually, now that I'm detoxing, it's getting big and ugly, and it'll chill out. But once it's chilled out, I'm gonna put some stuff on there, and I'm gonna get rid of that. And so the procrastination thing's really interesting. Like I say, there's an intuition in your mind that always tells you, oh, okay, now you should eat some food, or you should have done this or do that. So when you start paying attention to it, your life can start moving really quickly. And so yeah, that's day 8. YouTube, tomorrow I quit swearing. Fuck. Swearing is so, smart people swear, that's what the stuff says. So that's gonna be really hard. That's gonna be a hard one, because I'm so smart. I'm just kidding. But yeah, YouTube. Goodbye. I'll hopefully have a better relationship with you in the future, but for now, I'm gonna stop watching you. We gotta break up. So thanks for watching. Thanks for the support, and I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.